I never imagined my life would turn into something that felt like a bad story someone else was telling. But this is my life now, and I'm still trying to understand how everything fell apart so quietly and so completely. My name is Laura. I'm in my early 30s, married for 7 years, and a mother to a little girl who is the center of my world. Until recently, I believed I had a normal, stable life. We lived in a quiet town called Brookfield, the kind of place where people smile politely and pretend nothing bad ever happens behind closed doors. My husband's name is Daniel. He was calm, responsible, and never raised his voice. People liked him, I trusted him, and most importantly, I believed he loved me. I also have a younger sister, Emily. Emily has always been one of those people who seem to glow without trying. She's kind, intelligent, and somehow manages to make everyone around her feel important. Growing up, I was protective of her. As adults, we were close in a quiet, comfortable way. She was my best friend. About a month ago, my entire world changed. One evening, after our daughter had gone to sleep, Daniel asked if we could talk. His voice was shaking. I thought something was wrong at work, or maybe he was sick. Instead, he sat down across from me and said words that still echo in my head. He told me he had been in love with my sister. Not recently. Not briefly. For years. I remember feeling like the room had tilted. I couldn't breathe properly. I asked him if anything had happened between them. He swore nothing ever did. No messages. No touching. No confessions. Just feelings he said he couldn't control. He cried. He said he hated himself. He said he loved me and wanted to fix our marriage. He promised he would be a good husband and a good father. He begged me not to tell Emily because he was ashamed and didn't want to hurt her or destroy the family. I was in shock. Against my better judgment, I agreed to try. We started marriage counseling. Daniel said a change of environment might help. So we talked about moving to another city, Riverside, where he had a job offer. He said starting fresh would help him let go of the past. I wanted to believe him. I needed to believe him, for our daughter's sake. I told Emily we were planning to move. She was upset, but supportive, like she always was. She hugged me and said she understood. She didn't ask many questions. She was busy with her own life, planning her future with her fiancé, Mark. A few weeks later, Emily came back from a short vacation glowing with happiness. She told me she was pregnant. She was crying and smiling at the same time. She said the engagement had been sudden because of the baby, and they wanted to wait before telling everyone. She asked me to keep it a secret until the second trimester. I agreed. I didn't tell Daniel. Part of me didn't think it mattered. Part of me was afraid. Emily later broke down, telling me how scared she was and how much she needed her big sister. She apologized for being selfish about my move and said she understood that I needed to do what was best for my family. After she left, I cried alone for days. A week later, Daniel went to Riverside for a job interview. He planned to stay for several days to look at apartments and possibly sign a lease. The idea was that he would test living there first before we sold our house. The day after his interview, Emily and Mark announced the pregnancy publicly. Less than 30 minutes later, my phone rang. It was Daniel. He was drunk. I could hear it in his voice. He was crying, slurring his words, asking if it was true. He demanded to know if Emily was really pregnant and whether I had known. When I admitted that I did, he exploded. He called me cruel. He called me a liar. He said it was unfair that I kept it from him. He said Mark didn't deserve Emily, that he was beneath her, that she could do so much better. I tried to calm him down. I reminded him that this was not about him. He told me he needed to be alone and turned off his phone. For days, I heard nothing. Then, on Friday, I received a text message that shattered whatever hope I still had left. Daniel said he didn't want to be married anymore. He said he couldn't pretend. He said he didn't want to be part of our daughter's life. He offered me the house if I agreed to free him from his responsibilities as a father. I stared at the screen for a long time. I called him again and again. His phone was off. I cried all night, holding my daughter while she slept, wondering how someone could walk away from their own child so as. The next morning, Emily called me. She sounded nervous. She told me Daniel had reached out to her and asked to meet in person because he needed to tell her something. She asked me what was going on. I didn't have the strength to lie anymore. That afternoon, Emily and Mark came over. I told them everything. I showed Emily parts of what I had written in my journal because I couldn't speak without breaking down. I told her that Daniel might tell her he loved her. I warned her not to meet him alone. Mark was furious. Emily was sobbing, apologizing over and over, holding me while I sat there feeling completely empty. Her kindness hurt more than anger would have. I asked them to leave. I told them I needed space and no contact for a while. After they left, I started thinking seriously about leaving Brookfield. I thought about a small town up north called Clearwater, where an old friend lives. The cost of living is lower. I could find work easily. I could start over somewhere quiet, far away from all this pain. I texted Daniel to tell him I had told Emily everything. An hour later, he called. He apologized, but not for what he had done to me. He said he hadn't meant to scare Emily. He claimed he only wanted to say goodbye, and that he would never hurt her. He said he was staying in Riverside and starting his new job soon. He didn't ask about me. He didn't ask about our daughter. He said he might come back briefly to say goodbye before moving permanently. Later that night, Emily texted me. She told me she loved me. She said she would respect my space but begged me not to leave. She said I was never a burden in her life, that she needed me just as much as I needed her. I didn't respond. Right now, I don't know what the future looks like. I only know that the man I trusted is gone. The family I believed in is broken. And I'm standing in the middle of it all trying to protect my child and survive the pain. Some betrayals don't come with shouting or violence. They come quietly, wrapped in apologies and broken promises. And by the time you understand what's happening, everything you loved is already falling apart.